Okay, we are live. Father Miller here. Welcome back, everybody. Happy to celebrate tonight as my channel just became monetized.
Yeah.
So I am now able to make some of that sweet YouTube money.
Where's your soundboard at, Gary?
I don't have a soundboard.
We need applause.
So,
So what was it, Father? Was it the watch hours that was taking it? Because you've had the subs for quite a while.
I don't know what exactly, because it says the hours are not. It says the hours didn't quite meet it, but I mean, I have 1,300 subs.
Yeah.
And I mean, the channel's been around for 5 years now, I think.
Yay.
And I think it's been about 3 years since Gary had a member stream. But we are going to have people throughout well, I could go for about an hour and a half tonight. I have to do benediction at 8, so I'll have to throw my other clerics on and head off to the sisters. But
keep on and head out the door.
Kind of. So, but no, just wanted to stream. Excited. Like I said, this is something. Yes, thank you, Archer. YouTube may be getting desperate.
Ouch.
Ouch. But yeah, how are you guys?
Oh,
I'm fine. I don't know who goes first. Miss Muse can go first.
Oh, I was just going to say, doing pretty good. I had some D&D this afternoon. And, well, I guess for us, it was Ascension Sunday, because in my diocese, they transfer it to Sunday. But it's always weird then, because we're always like, but we always start the novena on Thursday to be in time for Pentecost Sunday. So I don't know what your diocese does.
It is the 7th Sunday of Easter here.
Oh, okay, so good. You all did it right.
Yeah, we still have the Holy Day.
Woo. Yeah.
So, which meant it was a very busy week.
Oh, yeah.
Because my parish. Well, and I don't know if you knew, I'm done teaching.
Yes, I was there when you were talking about that this is your last year teaching, and now you're going to be going full time, not just parish obviously work. Being a parishioner. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. You know, like I said, I do the chaplain for the soccer teams, both the boys and the girls, and I'm still going to do that next year, even though I won't be at the school, just because I love the game. Little gripe, if you saw, I know Justin would have seen it. Justin did see it. My soccer team here, the State University, just jacked up their soccer tickets by, well, let's say last year was $65 for 12 games, I think. This year it's 120.
Wow.
Nice. You know, I'm still surprised that the collar doesn't get you like onto the sideline with the team, just for extra luck.
No, it's a state university. No.
Well then.
So yeah, but it's funny. I'm going down to Kansas City in 2 weeks because one of the girls I know from the college team went pro, and they're playing. They're playing in Kansas. Well, she's racing Louisville.
Okay.
So they are playing in Kansas City on. I'm trying to be very careful now that I'm monetized, because I want to stay monetized. But basically, they are celebrating Not the Sacred Heart of Jesus night.
Oh, okay.
And
I know what you're talking about.
Yes, and I got a nice shirt that I'm going to wear because it might be a little passive aggressive, but
I'm Catholic. Deal with it. I wanted to get one made years ago that said, "What was it? White hetero straight male," and on the back of like the most offensive person on the planet, something of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
I got all fun PG covers to share today too, so there's no.
Well, I know, like I said, I think there's going to be a few others hopefully joining during the stream. I know Ian said he was going to try to come over. I'm surprised Archer is here because it is midnight in the UK right now.
Almost double.
So I could throw the link for him if he wants to join. Let me throw the link into the chat. Like I said, we usually do that during the week.
Got a few here, Justin,
anybody that wants to join,
the R's here.
Make sure you got the headphones on.
How do I sound, by the way? Am I too loud or too quiet? Am I?
No, you're fine.
Okay, I haven't used this before for streaming, so we'll see what happens.
You're fine. Justin got a comment.
Yeah, those are so okay. My good buddy, Dan. We talk about Dan, our guy who presses. Father knows Dan. I used to make miniature arcades when I was a full-time stay-home dad, and I found this material called Lama Label. And when I gave up the arcade business, I had a lot of it left over. And what it is you can print out whatever you want on your computer, and then you put it in this self-adhesive lamination that you run through like a heat machine. So it seals it up, and then you can peel off the back and stick it. And what I did was I just created a template for my drawer boxes, and then pulled whatever image I wanted off the internet. And because white boxes are clean and they look good, but color is way better. So, and I was just working on a plan for the office. I think what I'm going to do here, because we sold that Thor comic, I have a little spending money. I think we're going to run the boxes all the way around the office, and then push my desk into the corner that's got like a 45-degree angle to it. It's going to be nothing but comics all the way around. Psycho stuff. Hi, Archer.
I think it's past your bedtime.
No, it's only midnight. I'm a
Okay, that was loud.
Hear him now.
Is it?
You're okay. You're okay.
You're fine now.
No, I'd never know with my mic. No, I'm not a particularly early to bed person these days. I'm trying to get early and early, but every time I do, I find something else attracts my attention to watch.
Well, I know there's one thing we need to talk about tonight. Something that aired yesterday. The finale of Doctor Who.
Oh, goodness gracious.
I heard about your lovely show and the dumpster fire that it is.
Oh, dumpster fire. Dumpster fire is too nice.
Dumpster fire is at least pretty to look at for a while.
Well, I mean, first of all, they brought back Jodie's doctor after Nuki was basically having a love affair with himself, saying he's the best of them all. Jodie says the best of the male doctors.
Yay!
Let me see. I'm just.
Wait, hold on. Did she just assume his identity?
Nice one.
I don't know. But then it's like, how does he? I mean, you have to be severely injured to regenerate, and he wasn't severely injured unless he. I mean, I don't know.
They've changed everything else. They probably changed the circumstances for regeneration.
There's just so much. I don't care about what was going on in the story. I mean, I just was so indifferent of it, and I really grew to not like. I almost said another word. Belinda. Don't care for her.
Mm.
And that whole thing about Poppy the kid, plus you had Ramona is now going to regenerate into droppings as she was eaten by a dinosaur. Or no, the Omega or whatever that
was the Rani, wasn't it? Or one of the
Ranis. Oh, Ramona. I'm sorry. That was the Rani that got eaten
yeah.
by a Time Lord or whatever it was.
One of her, because isn't she still around as Mrs. Flood as well? So
I don't know. But I saw somebody on X had a good point. It's like he basically regenerates himself to save one little kid. But what about Rogue, who's burning in the fires? But excuse me, I got a little cold here.
Yeah, I saw someone suggest that apparently I'm in an odd position because normally I don't watch the show. I haven't watched the show, but I've watched the reviews, and normally the reviews I end up watching is normally our friend the rabbis on a Sunday. So, Saturday evening I watched Dan and book, and last night they didn't actually review it. They talked about it, so I know roughly what went on, but I didn't review it. And the rabbi this morning, because he's between holy days, he actually streamed about an hour earlier, so I didn't catch that either. So I understand. I saw somewhere someone suggested apparently the last scene was supposed to be Susan watching them at some party, which was supposed to be the hook for the next series. But for some strange reason, that was actually cut out. It's almost as if I don't expect it to be another season.
It's just, I think it's going to be a few years. It's going to be interesting because if they wait 10 years to reboot it, Billy is going to be in her 60s then. I mean, the thing I don't get is Billy I remember was the first companion of the new Doc. That was what, 20 years ago, 21 years ago?
Yeah. 20 years
None
ago.
of the youth audience that they're trying to go after would remember her unless they've seen the first series.
Yep. Well, there's been a few things about this that I've noticed that apparently it's been pointed out that although, and by the only bit I've seen the clip of the regeneration, about the only thing you actually saw was Shooty apparently regenerating into Billy Piper, but it said introducing Billy Piper,
right?
Not
where they had Jody
as
the doctor,
right? Just introducing Billy Piper,
right?
And I thought, hold on a second, you're not introducing Billy Piper. A lot of people know who Billy Piper is, so you're not introducing her. You know, they do that, like you say, introducing a new actress. They did at the end of Galaxy Quest. If you remember the end of Galaxy Quest, where they go back and they're doing it. They go back and they get another TV show, and it says introducing Bob because they've got they've got
Well, she was
Mr.
an alien
Monks.
who was never on the original show. That's why she was introduced. Yeah.
Yes, what I'm saying is that they've got Mr. Monks, Tony Shalhoub's character's girlfriend is in the show, and it's introduced because she's a new person they've seen before. So, you know, that's who you're normally introducing. Such that he's a new character, a new, more to the point, probably, a not that well-known actress. You
know, that's happened before. I've seen that. There was it was the girl. I'm a big G.I. Joe guy. So that second G.I. Joe Retaliation movie, the girl who played Jinx in that, who went on to do a TV show, they advertised her as introduced. I can't remember her name, but introducing such and such as. I was like, introducing. She's been in multiple movies. I don't know what you're introducing, but I mean, weird. She's been around. She's not new, which is kind of weird.
I don't know.
You know, I haven't finished. I haven't continued to watch the series because of everything I've heard in the last 2 years. I still have David Tennant episodes to watch.
I'd say quit after Matt Smith.
Yeah, you said that, and that sounds pretty. I mean, that sounds pretty all right.
I mean,
I just gotta get back.
Never watched the 60th anniversary specials because for me it's been tainted. David Tennant's first run is now tainted by his specials and all that.
Maybe I'll be the chosen one who doesn't.
By David Tennant.
But I mean,
do you feel like the series is just getting like they're doing it to spite the fans now? Like they're upset with how the fans are reacting to the changes they've made, so they just keep going. Let's just double down. If we're going to be out of this, let's just keep sticking it to them.
Well, I've said this for ages. It came into my mind a little while ago. Do you guys remember a little show called Babylon 5?
Oh yeah, I love it. Yeah,
right. Father Teresa, you'll remember President Clark.
No, I never watched it.
You didn't? Oh, sorry. Teresa, Miss Martin, President Clark. Do you?
Well, I mean, I've only seen it once. To be honest, I don't remember.
Okay, sorry. Okay, no, sorry. I'm a nerd on these things. I think he's about his final scene. It's a big dramatic scene, right? And basically, they break into his office. He's shot himself in the head, and he's got a pile of paper, and he's circled, and he got any circle lines, and it either says "scorched earth" or "let it burn," and I cannot remember which was likely. But what he's done is the message of he's turned the planetary defenses on the Earth. It's gone to scorched earth. I just get that picture in my head every time I hear what Russell T Davies has done for the last series. It's as if he's trying to kill it on his way out, as you said, Father.
Maybe he's trying to force it shelved and it'll sit in the shelf. From how many years was it before Eccleston came in and they revived it?
Well, the series went off in '89, I think. Then there was the TV movie that was on Fox in '98. Yeah, and then it was 2004.
16 years on TV, but with a TV movie in between.
So whose idea was it to bring it back with Eccleston? Like, who's like, I know what we're gonna do. We're gonna do Doctor Who. Like, who came up with that?
It was I can't remember the gentleman's name. His initials were R something. Russell.
Was it Russ T Davies?
Yeah, Russell T Davies brought it back, and Russell T Davies killed it.
Well,
this is.
If that's not evil overlord, I don't know what is.
Yeah. I mean, I remember
to bring this back, and you guys destroyed it.
Well, when Doctor Who first came out on the reboot, I mean, it was nice. I mean, they had the effects that you wish they had back in the 80s. They had to do the cheap story maybe 2 times a year, I think, because in season 2, my absolute hatred of New Who up until the last few years was Fear Her and Love and Monsters. Those were the Dr. Light episodes because of the budget and everything.
Yeah.
Would you call them
but like in the first season of the reboot, you had the farting monsters. But I mean, it was kind of something fun. I mean, when the Doctor shows up at 10 Downing Street, I mean, I don't know.
My wife's favorite humor.
I'm actually about ready to start rewatching Eccleston's.
The whole site, the whole
I'd
special
rather
effects
have this
thing is.
Lane as Prime Minister than the one we've got at the moment.
Yeah, the whole special effects thing is a pretty big deal. I tried to watch they did one season of the Dresden Files, which is that series of books I'm on, and it wasn't bad, but you could look at it and go, yeah, this was Buffy CG, this was early 2000s CG, where they had the ability to do CG, but it wasn't quite there yet.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully they'll come back to that too.
My biggest problem, I think I can't remember if I'd read any of the Dresden Files books before I saw the series.
Oh.
My biggest problem with the Dresden Files, and I can understand why they did it, was Bob.
Yeah, they
Bob
really. I mean,
is
I didn't
a
mean to jump
disembodied
subjects, but yeah.
spirit. Yeah, for those who don't know, Bob is a disembodied spirit of a powerful mage stuck in a skull.
Yeah,
he's not.
And in the books, he's just an air spirit of knowledge.
Yeah, he's an air spirit.
Yeah.
He is not one of the 3 presidents of the Federation universe. He's not Terrence Mann. He's not a human, and I can understand why they felt they had to make that decision for the show, because television is a much more visual medium.
Well, and now they could get away with it. I mean, I don't understand why they. I mean, now actors have so much experience acting with inanimate objects, the tennis ball or whatever it is, that there's no reason they couldn't act with the skull propped, which is what his character mainly talks through and communicates from, which is the tattooed skull or the inscribed skull.
Yeah, and I suspect the decision they made was that for a visual medium, having an actual humanoid person that they could actually talk to, rather than he just holds a skull and makes like Hamlet. I can understand the decision, but I still think it would have been nice if Bob had been Bob.
Yep. Hopefully they will see it someday. I mean, I don't think the live action idea would be a good idea. I think they should stick to like an anime or some kind of animated show just to keep the voices correct.
I just wanted to show this because I don't know if Justin remembers this guy we're about to see, but this was Friday Nights in Iowa growing up in the 80s and 90s.
I'm excited.
Members supporting quality public television programming.
Come on.
A black screen.
So many jokes. So many jokes. Oh, it's the beginning of math.
No. This is the guy that introduced everything on Friday nights.
Hey!
You remember him, don't you?
Can't remember his name.
I don't know, but he was always on Friday nights.
Well, you know where most of my Friday nights were, because I've seen him before, but because Jason, my older brother, played football.
Right.
So most of my Friday nights, I was drugged to a game against my will. Where
I was on the major. I was the major. I was at the games, but you get home and it was 10 o'clock. That's when Sci-Fi Night started on PBS. And I wasn't into the reason I didn't get into Red Dwarf when I was younger was because you had to see it from the start, from the first season, to be able to understand what everything's going on.
I'm the saddest nerd. I missed out on all this stuff and caught up on it later in the late 90s when all of my expansive nerd friends that I learned about gaming, and I got into that group, and then I was like, I've missed all this wonderful stuff. And we started watching Red Dwarf on VHS, and then I found out my cousin introduced me to Mystery Science Theater 3000. So I started really nerding at home, and I started changing from more of a band nerd to a more of an actual nerd.
I thought I was the only one in our school. Archer, Justin, and I. Oh yeah, you know this. Justin and I went to school together. I thought I was the only one in our school that watched sci-fi.
I love sci-fi. I can sit around and watch sci-fi all day long. I'm actually finding out that I love sci-fi more than I love like adventure action stuff. Like if I want to sit down and watch a movie, I really do gravitate towards anything with a spaceship or a robot trying, whatever it is. I got to watch some sci-fi.
The weird thing is, I think I had the great fortune to grow up in Britain in the 1960s and 1970s. So I grew up with the likes of Jerry Anderson. I grew up with the Tomorrow People. My first crush, I think that's a fair way to put it, was teaching assistant Elizabeth Adare, who is of Nigerian descent. My first crush was I'm white. My first crush was a colored girl.
I'll show you the one. Go ahead. Keep going.
So I grew up with these. I got Star Trek. Obviously, I grew up with Doctor Who. I grew up with the Tomorrow People and all sorts of these things. And yet, I now find that the weirdest thing is that having there's been so little sci-fi on one. I'm currently rewatching Castle, Unforgettable, and I maybe it's about to get back into.
Well, you might remember this one then.
The Protectors.
John Barry.
Oh yes. Sorry, not the Protectors, the Persuaders. The Protectors,
I love the sound effect.
Yeah.
Very 70s.
Yeah.
It is, but it's the guy that did the James Bond music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Tony Curtis and Roger Moore.
Yeah. Brett Sinclair and
you mentioned I think my first crush was Sandal Bergman, who was in Conan.
Mm.
You talk about your first crush. That was
Diana Rigg from the Persuaders or the Avengers.
Yep. Because we had the Persuaders, we also had a Jerry Anderson show called The Protectors.
Yeah, I did see that.
The theme tune, which was in the avenues and alleyways.
Ours was called the A-Team.
Yep. Yep. I'm with the A-Team.
The American version of that kind of show.
Yeah. I do remember this one. Yeah, that's the one with the guy from The Man from U.N.C.L.E. But I mean, it's
nice crash. This almost has a Magnum PI.
Robert Vaughn, that's who it was. Oh,
wasn't he the bad guy in Superman 3?
The what?
Bad guy in Superman 3, the rich guy, wasn't that Robert?
Yeah, that was Robert Vaughn. But he was Napoleon Solo in The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Okay.
And a big thank you to the R. Good to see you with the $10 donation.
Yeah, good. Now's a good time to say I tried to participate in the chat, but there's an error and I can't get into it, so I'll just wave.
It's okay. So, but yeah, I mean, it's something like with the Protectors. We lost Archer. Okay,
Archer,
he'll be back. But yeah, there's something about 60s, 70s British shows, the themes, the Avengers, the Protectors. It's just instrumental music that's really good.
Wish they could get back to that. There's Hollywood is doing a little too much of the same thing in every single movie, and it's almost to the point where I ignore it. The last movie that I felt I was emotionally moved by the music, and it's silly, but Guardians of the Galaxy 2. The way, and I know that James Gunn had put headphones in some ears during some scenes so they could time their scene with what was the music and stuff. And I got to tell you that was the last time I had music moving me throughout a movie that I felt, this is a really impactful scene. Because I'd like to lose my eyes before I lose my ears when it comes to that kind of stuff. So.
Let me see. I still get goosebumps with this one. We'll probably get a little copyright on this one, but it'll be fine. There it is. So let me bring this up. Even bringing it up, I just got goosebumps.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Good music cue right there.
Yeah, but it's like getting goosebumps.
Oh yeah, and then when the horses all go down, and like to the keep.
Here we go. There it is. I just love this music.
Yeah, and then it goes into the White Rider
Yeah,
theme.
I mean, this is just. There he is.
So I was selling electronics when all these movies were coming out, and not this one, but when Theoden leads them in the charge in Gondor, the big one. That I would crank. My boss is like, you really have to have it that loud. I mean, yes, it has to be that loud because I'm selling, I'm selling $5,000 in audio equipment, and I just crank it up as far as I could go without blowing the speakers, and I'd sell speakers to everybody.
I tell you what, the
Great
one
moment.
I'm not even going to hate watch it, but the new Narnia remake, I will not watch it.
Oh no.
They just keep making mistakes, and they're doing it on purpose. Whether it's Snape, the casting for Snape, or this, apparently they've got a female voice talent doing Aslan. I'm like, what?
Meryl
Go ahead.
Streep.
Go ahead. Have
Meryl
fun.
Streep, I believe.
I like Meryl Streep. I just don't understand why. Maybe she's
Meryl Streep as the Christ figure.
I'm Aslan.
I would love to know what C.S. Lewis would say.
I think that he would just be disgusted with it. He would just probably.
I'm surprised his ancestor did he ever have kids? No, he didn't.
He only has a stepson.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that. Shadowlands, wasn't that the movie they made about him?
Correct.
Anthony Hopkins, good movie.
And Deborah Winger, but
I loved Liam Neeson as Aslan in the movies. I thought he was and the speeches he would make was very speeches can be delivered any which way, and when they make you go, ooh, it's like a whole I felt that.
Say good move, Snartapoopus. The books by Andy Serkis are amazing.
I'm gonna get those next. I've been hearing about that over and over again. And right after I find myself a steel book of Two Towers and Return of the King, I can't find those anywhere.
Let's see if I can do this on my phone.
Hey, Walmart, I bought the steel book for the Fellowship. Can we just get the other two in, please?
I think if this Narnia show ever does come about, we'll probably find.
Nice.
The Hobbit, downloading it.
Oh, wow. We'll probably find that there will be a series of earthquakes, which is C.S. Lewis and J.R.R. Tolkien
judging me.
turning in their graves in sync.
Oh, yeah, England. Yeah, well, you'll feel it over there in Britain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys see tonight's guest stars.
As someone pointed out, there is probably a reason why they have cast Aslan as the female voice, and it's something which my fellows on the panel will probably be even more aware of than I am, which is what Aslan actually represents, or specifically
that's the thing.
Who Aslan actually represents.
And that's why Rings of Power was a failure, because they lost the symbolism. And even, Gary always points it out, even though he's not a Christian, he does point out that it's the Catholic influence.
Yep, and specifically, Aslan is supposed to be at the very least, as a non-believer might put it, a Christ-like figure.
Yeah.
At the very least. So, let me see. What can we do? We'll have a female. We'll have a woman. We'll have a female.
Got to
voice.
say a big thank you to Michelle for the $20. Thank you. I got to see if I can find out. I know they don't show it on here, but there's a way I know that I can see the messages that are sent. I'm trying to see if I can do that in the background. Oh, I gotta log into my...
Nice, Star. Well, step up, son.
Oh, gee. Well, the money is going towards Justin. I know that because he is grading. How many books did I give you to grade?
You gave me a few to grade, but I decided to grade them all. It's the first 10 issues of Something's Killing the Children, which keep an eye out for this summertime. There's supposed to be a trailer or some kind of announcement. I know that Tynan worked on it. We've talked about this before. He's got a script and they're shooting the show. And if anybody out there knows where they can find some copies of the first 10, it's a great investment. My comic sense is kicking in. I made a lot of money selling them early when it was super hyped. And then you know how it is with it. When a show drops and the trailer drops, get your books on the market. And if you want them back, just wait a year. Price will drop 20-30%, at least on the less insignificant ones. It should be like the next Walking Dead as far as popularity, as long as it As long as it shows up on network as well as stream. I don't know. I think it's Netflix that has the rights. I think he said Netflix. It's Netflix or Amazon. It's one of the two.
Okay,
I could be Fubu when I'm completely wrong.
Well, I'll be interested. Like I said, they were only read once, and then they've been in the plastic sleeve ever since. I just can't believe that first issue is worth $1,000 now.
Graded, yeah.
Well, and signed.
That too. Yeah, that adds a little bit to it. It's just, I mean, it's one of those things where you write a story and it's a great story about a monster and this terrible stuff that happens, and it's relatable. There was a role-playing game I played years ago where the monsters were only seen by children, and once you hit, like, the whole premise was once you hit a certain age and you started hitting puberty, your ability to see the monsters and their ability to have an effect on you was diminished, which is why children always scream about the monsters under their bed. Well, the whole thing was there really are monsters, but mom and dad can't see them.
Right.
And that premise was kind of used in this, and it's a good one. Only the trained, initiated fraternity of hunters are able to see the monsters and then, of course, kill them.
I don't know if we can use that word on the stream, but
unalive them.
Deprive them of life.
I was watching.
Erase them from existence.
I watched Little Platoon's review of the Minecraft movie early on. I'm sorry, there's a monster going through. I'm sorry, I've been told I must unalive you. Literally, that is a scene from the film.
We heard it first in the Spider-Man cartoon. They had one episode that featured Deadpool, which is about as far as they could go with that character for a middle-aged children's type.
So I think it's to put it. Let's just say there are reasons why Platoon called the character Big Gay Al.
Oh, gee.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was he did that. He said, I mean, I don't know if you'd watched many Platoon's reviews, but he tends to.
Oh wait, I'm thinking South Park. That's the only reference.
Yeah, no. That's where he got it from, because Plutz tends to. He's one of the things. He tends to. He's a bit like Bowles Trek. He tends to deliberately, I suspect, rather than use a character's name, give them somebody else a couple of and he's saying this big general is very camp, shall we say. So Plutz calls I'm just going to go Big Gay Al.
Well, his character was designed originally to, like, I mean, everybody watches South Park like on purpose. Yeah. It's every episode is there to spread a message of, this is what you need to, it's very intelligent show. And his character, especially the episode where the boys were doing Boy Scouts and Big Gay Al was the Scoutmaster. Mm-hmm. All the adults were freaked about what was going on. Turns out he was harmless, but the guy they brought in, who was the butch macho dude, ended up being the one that was, messing around with kids, and then it became a whole thing. And that was what they were trying to say: is you can't just judge because of something. You have to, But on the vicious, violent note, I picked this up. This is coming out next week if you can find it. Marvel's going the Predator route here. And
interesting.
I know this is a.
So
Ryan
is that a
Brown
variant cover then?
So, because I run the store, I get the goodies.
I know.
This is the 1:25 ratio variant for the second print of #1 by Ryan Brown. This was actually a regular cover you could get, a regular variant you could get from #1, but this the what they call the virgin or the undressed is. I missed out. I forgot to grab a copy for myself, and I was like, "Oh look, I can get this one." So I really like that. Just looks
I like
good.
the cover.
Yeah, it's good stuff. This is the other one. You can find this one in your shops. Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion, where they're going to start introduce more characters in the Ultimate Universe. This is a foil cover. You can see it's very shiny, but it's. I'm assuming I haven't read it yet. I'm assuming that's going to be a Miles Morales character in the Ultimate Universe, fighting.
Yes.
Good grief.
Hello.
There's only one TV White.
I'm just gonna make sure that I haven't muted myself.
Good
Seems
to
be
see
a bit of
you.
a trend nowadays. Hey, Father Christopher Miller, how are you doing, good sir?
Good. I am doing good. Like I said, I just became monetized last week. I was surprised by that. So now I get to make some sweet money.
Well, yeah. I mean, sorry, you're far too nice and good to be monetized. That's That's what us reprobates are here to do, you know. So
Well, that's why I'm the chaplain of the chat, as Odin says.
I've been trying to corrupt him for a long time. It's just not taken.
Well,
I got to clearly up my grift, you know, if this is what they're doing, and the whole thing's going down. So,
well, the funny thing is, you weren't here. We were just talking. Justin is a friend of mine from back home. We went to school together. He runs a comic book store, and he has about 7 or 8 of my comics he's grading right now. So I have a big bill to him.
nice.
Plus,
Well,
he also
It's a small bill. It's
Super
not a
chat
big
in then.
bill.
Come on. Who
Yeah, they've been outbidding each other. They've been trying to outbid each other in the super
Good.
chat.
Good. That is exactly what you should be doing right now.
So
yeah.
I may have a gift for the father. He is a big fan of the Lois Lane, Superman's girlfriend Lois Lane books, and I know that Father Paul bought her first. It was
oh
number
no, he's
one,
not
right?
going to give me that, is he?
No, but I've got her show. I got her first appearance as a self-titled book in the showcase, and since we sold the first Barry Allen this week, I think I'm going to give you the showcase.
Oh,
Lois Lane.
bless your heart. I will have to.
Yep.
You know how many masses I'm going to have to say for you?
Well, it's funny that you should say that because I actually got a gift for you as well.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Now it's not much, so don't get too excited. But I found this piece of paper on the floor,
Uh-oh.
right? And I thought I could either put this in the bin, recycling, or this could be yours if you want it. I'm just. You have a think. Don't commit. Just have a think about it. All right.
Okay.
I don't want you to have any hasty decisions or anything like that.
No,
But that's yours if you want it. So think about it.
I will. Hey, I'm
Think
trying
about
to get to London. I talked to Ian and Dan, Spacebook. I'm trying to get to London in about a year or two.
Ooh.
As I want to get over to do a World War II pilgrimage. Plus,
Okay.
get over to see the guys over there.
Well, you know, if you're in London, you might want to pop along to the UK as well at some point.
Yeah.
Because the
If you're in
UK is right by London.
Yeah.
I know.
Here you can
I
get there
know.
pretty quickly.
Yeah.
If you're in
Yeah.
London, get out as soon as you can.
So yeah,
And you won't be able to carry there, Father.
No. Where am I?
I think
London. How do I get to the UK from here? Wow.
That's the show I want to see. Father Miller, the gun packing priest
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
the Midwest.
But
Well, I'll tell ya.
this is a fleeting visit because the little boy, the little 4-legged boy, is now making Trumps, not Donald's, Trumps. So fourth time of asking, I think we might have a bowel movement coming on.
Oh dear.
Wait,
Is this the cat?
No, this is the dog. Cat, you
No.
don't. Who takes
I thought
a
you had a
cat
cat.
for a
I thought
walk?
you had a cat.
They have
I
a box
do.
going in and
Hey,
walk.
I know
cat.
people who take their
Dude,
cats
but
for
the guy's-
walks.
The cat's female, and I said the boy.
Okay, I didn't hear that part. Sorry.
Yeah, I said,
Shame.
Holy, come
Shame,
on.
shame.
Sorry, that wasn't blasphemous. I hope, you know. Yeah.
No, but you've not been here when people drop when they use a no word. I have a clip queued up.
All
oh
I can
dear.
say
Yeah.
right now is
Here we go.
shame, 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 shame.
That's
Yeah,
my
that's me. I got busted the last
So,
stream.
Yeah,
Watch
I
anybody-
Odin
stopped
get all
myself. I
cringe.
only half said the word.
Hey, but you know, before I do pop off, Father Christopher, first of all, congratulations on getting
Thank you.
monetized. That is a big thing. I remember when it happened to me. It was immediately because I'm great.
you know. the reason-
Secondly,
Go ahead.
no, in all seriousness, thank you. I think I've seen you in. I think the first time I saw you in chat was Friday Night Tights. You'd drop a super and you'd always end it by saying praying for you all. I
Yep.
always love that. I've always appreciated that. Love your humor on social media. One of the few accounts I follow, full stop, just follow because pretty much everyone else is on mute. You know what I mean? Including
Yeah, I know.
Gary.
I know.
And
Were
so
they blocked?
yeah, blocked, mute, just get out of here. So it's lovely to see you, humor, and I really do appreciate everything that you've done, everything that you brought to the FNT chat and other chats as well. So
And you know,
thank
the
you.
thing that's
Enjoy
been
your
fun-
blessed
I will.
monetization.
I
And I
will.
can't wait for this stream to be hit with a yellow orb of limited.
Oh dear.
Oh, we'll get there.
I'll tell you what. It's been a blast being a part of the community for the last 5-6 years. I think it is. Because I remember when I sent a chat to Gary for the first time, he didn't know what FR meant. It's like I'm actually a priest watching this.
I believe you when you say that, by the way.
But
There's
you
a
know,
super chat from for Christopher Miller.
what is that?
For
Code for furry.
But no, it's been a blessing. I mean, be able to get to see you guys online and being able to meet everybody in person through the meetups, and it's been.
Sorry, was that a stab at me? Was that a stab? Was
No,
that a stab?
no.
Never
you
go to
were
meetups.
you were in the Vegas one by the phone.
Yeah,
I remember that. So, but
I
no,
was there.
thank
Is
you.
there in figure in head
Yeah.
figured? Yeah.
But I want to thank you for joining us. I know it's late over there.
Yeah, it's only what 40 minutes past midnight. You know.
Yeah.
Okay.
So-
So it's all good. Time to walk the doge. What?
Well, good luck.
The dog.
Good luck.
He's buggered
No.
off.
Now I could have that song running around
Tired
inside
of
my
waiting
head.
on you.
Oh, great! Now I've got to find little shit. Sorry.
Oh, you did it!
All I can say right now is shame, 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 shame.
Oh my!
There goes our
goodness
first
gracious.
strike. Strike number
Thank
one.
you, Father
Az.
Christopher. Take care,
Good to
guys
see you,
and
Az.
girls here.
Bye,
Have
Az.
a wonderful day. You take care, all.
Bye.
Thank you.
Now,
Well, you know,
how
the only
appropriate-
time I am tempted to curse mostly nowadays is because of my cat. I mean, animals can make you do that.
Hey.
how nice to have Az be your first monetized curse. I mean, that's how wonderful.
Yeah,
Right,
two
that
thumbs
one
Yeah,
up.
down.
but you know, like I said, I mean, the thing that's been fun is being around Gary when his channel was just starting to take off right after The Last Jedi, because I left the theater stunned, telling myself it was good, but really feeling like it sucked because Star Wars isn't supposed to stink. And then finding others starting to feel like that, that's when
all
I
came
got
out of the woodwork.
introduced to Gary, then I got introduced to
Yeah.
Jeremy, and it's really been a blessing to be able to get to know these guys.
Yeah, I think you and I
So-
are going to go to the next meetup that doesn't happen in Texas, somewhere up here in the
Yeah,
northern Midwest.
I hope so. I mean, I know Gary said on one of his streams his wife is still going through the estate for
Yeah,
her
she's busy.
brother, and there's
Yeah.
been it's been hard for them to do that. But yeah, I'm hoping we'll do the Milwaukee meetup again because that's where Gary's family's up there at. So, and I just noticed I missed comments because oh yes, Snartapoopus.
My poor fuzzy
So-
ears.
Poor fuzzy ears.
But no, it's been a blast. I know Comics said he's going to try to pop by. I'm guessing Ian is still on another stream.
No, the stream is over, so we need to judge him now that he didn't come.
Oh, I'm judging Ian.
Finger of
looking at
judgment. You get masses. Ian gets judgment.
I left the chat for it. I was in chat for Mr. Brown, and I was like, "Oh, in a second, is a father one?" Okay, yes, father's one. Yes.
We'll just make sure we put him in the bottom right corner.
Well, I was going to say he can't be filming Rebecca Gold at 12:40 in the morning. And
They
how
were,
Father Miller
however-
survives an evening of dropping F-bombs and FNT.
Yeah,
You know, the other
caught
thing.
caught FNT this week, and I can't remember what they were talking about, but you know when it's bad when Odin just drops out, like he just hit his camera off or he's out of frame. It's
I
I'm
haven't
not-
sent
I'm
I
not
haven't
FNT
sent a
that much.
super chat in probably 2-3 years just because I can't afford the big chats to get read right away.
Yeah,
And honestly, you know, the thing that's nice, again, being on X, being on Twitter, they already see me. I can drop messages to them if I really need to.
that's one of the things that I find is an oddity. When you get a channel gets that big, you get to a point where you're in the chat, but
Yeah.
the chat's going to multiple. If the chat's that big, there's a lot of people in it.
Well, what was
Okay.
fun about the Milwaukee meetup 2 years ago was people know me just because of my presence. And I mean, it's not trying to brag or anything, but I mean, Gary's mentioned my name online a few times. He's done the apologies whenever he dropped a swear word or something like that with apologies to Father. But no, there really is something fun about this group, I guess, membership, fraternity, whatever it is you want to call.
Definitely.
I mean, being able to do these streams with you guys, being able to meet some people in real life, it's fun. It's like worlds colliding.
when I've been following. I think it back. I think Bolstrek was the first YouTube I followed. Gary was quite close behind. Back when Gary was a much smaller channel. I mean, I remember I emailed him about something. I think it was something with Doctor Who company, and I got an email back from him. It said interesting. It said he was going to mention it. I was okay with it on his stream. So I listened to his stream. He's coming up to the end of his stream. He says, "Oh, I almost forgot. I got this email, and my computer's YouTube crashed on me. It crashed. I lost it just to go his battery."
I was just going to respond to the art. As I have said in the meetups that I've gone to in the past, I am here as a nerd who happens to be a priest. I go to the meetups to talk nerd stuff, but if they want to talk theology, I'll do it. So, but yeah, no, I want to go back down to Dallas. I was there for the 2 years ago. It was a blast. First time to Texas, first time to Buc-ee's. I want to go back.
That's where I got my cup. My daughter and her fiance.
Saw Nick Weiser was just down there.
I never got the only places I've been in the States, and I haven't been there for 34 years. 91 was the last time I was in. Late 80s, I think. Mid 80s. I was in New York. I had a friend of mine who'd been in the TA with me, Territorial Library with me when I was in, and he found he'd moved out there and he was in New England and in New Jersey, so I had to stay with him for a while. And I remember, I might have told this story to a couple of people, but I remember on the train, on the trip, I was coming in and I was going to go, I can't remember what it was, so this was late 80s, and I was going to go to the World Trade Center. I said this was the 80s, so long before it's anything, so it was just big buildings. And I got distracted because I discovered Forbidden Planet. Then the only other time I've been to the States was my late parents, and I went in 1991 and we went to Florida. So we did Disney and the rest of it.
Okay, well, this is almost like as saying when you go to London, you got to visit the UK.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been to New York. Okay, well, you got to get out of New York City first.
Well, yeah, I said, I mean, I was staying in I can't remember. It was in New Jersey. Was it in New Jersey? Yes. So, because New Jersey is over the border. It's in Pennsylvania.
Ours is a little more shameful. We honeymooned in Pennsylvania when we got married in 2000 and rented a car and drove to New York. We were in New York for one day, and we had no plan. We just walked up and down, Fifth Avenue, went to Times Square. Never saw the trade towers. Didn't see the Statue of Liberty. And then the next year, the trade tower.
Oh no, maybe it might be the Statue of Liberty. I was on my way.
So we got married September 9th. I think that's my wedding anniversary. And then so 2 days later, 2 days and a year later, that's when the towers were knocked down. Yeah.
Let me see. Yeah, there it is. Here's the one. I'm gonna dedicate this one to Justin. Let me bring it up. Here we go.
I love when I get attention.
Might have to send this to your wife.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I'll do you one better. Hold on a second. This is my wedding ring. I don't know if you can see inside, but she had it engraved on the inside of my ring.
Really?
Yeah, it's engraved.
That was a good idea.
Hold on, I'm really old. Yeah, September 9th. There it is. I love you, or don't you forget, or I'm going to hit you with a bat. Something like that. No, we actually we figured out the answer to how many years we married is we got married in 2000, so every year, so 25. So our 25th anniversary is in September. Yay!
Mazel
we were
tov.
just outside in the yard fighting over how much yard work I'm required to do as a homeowner, and so yeah, it's a wonderful marriage, and I'm very happy to be here. Actually, congratulations to my wife. I would talk about this. She got a huge promotion this year, so
yeah, you did say that.
I am certainly the trophy husband that every successful business executive wants.
Yeah. Oh, well done.
As you can tell by the room.
Yeah. Speaking of marriages, Father, how long have you been ordained? How long have you been a priest?
17 this last month.
Hey!
Wow.
2008.
So your 20th anniversary is coming up.
In about 3 years. But what will be fun is my 25th will be the Jubilee of 2033.
Oh, what's the jubilee that we're supposed to be having
Resurrection,
then?
2000.
Oh, duh. Oh, I'm a bad Catholic. What happened
Miss
in
Martin
33?
Eustace. Shame. I don't know either.
Oh
Okay.
dear.
I might have to go to Rome for that.
I've always
Oh,
been
my.
focused on next year. Next year is our 250th anniversary as a country.
Yeah.
So
Yay.
Yep.
And we got
I
an
heard
American
Trump-
Pope.
And I think he'll
You know
come
what?
to America for it.
You keep
Mhm.
going. Yep. Well done. You've almost grown up as a country. You're 250 years old. You've almost reached adulthood.
Yeah, we're getting
yeah, it
there.
only took us 250 years to figure things out.
What do you mean figure? Oh gosh. Well, I'll tell you what, I still think it would be awesome if the Holy Father went to a White Sox game and threw out the first pitch. He'd be a hero. Well, he's already a hero to the White
He's
Sox.
a White Sox fan, I hear too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's the whole
I-
thing. Is there's memes. They've even they have the seat that he sat in during the World Series has now got a commemoration. I mean, they're really proud of it.
Wow.
It's
Best thing to ever happen.
Yeah.
to him.
interesting.
We'll make it to 250, Snoop. Snort.
Oh, yeah. So other things is this year is the 1700th anniversary of the Council of Nicaea from 325, the
Yay!
Nicene Creed, and about 30 years, 29 years from now will be the millennia of the Great Schism,
Wow.
Oh,
1054.
that's good.
And
Yeah.
well, actually, I think we're going to see reunification before then. I mean, Leo just met with Bartholomew for the second time in a month.
The as someone who was, yes, I know.
It's the Orthodox versus Catholics.
Yeah, no, I know the Catholic. I said I've had this discussion with a couple of people. You may not realise I'm slightly into my history. I've done a lot.
Really?
Yeah, just a little bit. I've done quite a few courses. I've just studied them on things like church history and ancient America, etc. But there was a very interesting. I mean, and this is as someone who's very aware of who everyone else on the panel is, but who has to admit, I was christened and brought up Church of England. But there was a very interesting bit on the Lotus Eaters. I think it was one of their, not part of their streams, one of their segments that they do other than on the live stream, saying that apparently there are a lot of people are converting, rather than Church of England, are converting to the Orthodox churches. I can't remember if it's over here, was in America as well, but it's quite an interesting little piece about that. Not from Catholic. They were converting. I think the implication was they were converting from Church of England or similar like that.
I'm just gonna say. Oh, go ahead. Keep going.
No, I say they were converting from Anglican Church of England to I think the Greek more than Russian Orthodox. I'm not sure. I know there's differences, but I'm not that familiar what the differences are between them.
Well, the big trying to talk, text, and listen at the same time. Are you talking the differences between the Church of England and Catholics, or the Catholics?
No.
and the Orthodox?
No. It's I know one of the big differences between the Catholic Church, if I remember correctly, one of the major differences between the Catholics and the Orthodox, the Eastern Orthodox Church, is it's a filioque filiation.
That's part of it, but
I'm not sure what massive differences between Greek Orthodox and Russian Orthodox. I don't know if they just use.
I think it's the role of the patriarch. I think the patriarch of Russia, patriarch of Moscow, would consider him to be the real patriarch of Orthodoxy.
Oh, right. Okay.
But I was just going to say, this was a book I picked up yesterday.
Wow.
The Great Plains during World War II.
Looking forward to reading. And I'll show you the bookstore I went a little nuts at the other day.
Is that a book of people just ignoring the war while they farmed every day?
No, not exactly.
Oh dear.
It's our Great Plains, or
Yeah,
I was going to say that sounds a reasonably good
I mean, you know what?
contribution.
Midwest farmers probably aren't paying much attention to what's going on in other country when they have to get up at 5 a.m. to plow fields, and
there we go.
Have
I
to
am
do
showing
that
you
with it.
just the World War II section at this store I went to yesterday.
That's the whole thing about people. They get to a certain age in America, they just start studying World War II. Like they're fascinated with the history of World War II.
That's
These
just
generations.
like the World War II section.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, I walked out with 5 books yesterday.
You little bookworm.
I did that. I'm one of those people. I'm half a well, not quite a generation after World War II. I was born in 1960, so I wasn't 15 years after World War II finished. So there was still a lot of World War II things. There was, for example, there was a bomb shelter at the bottom of my road and this sort of thing. But I had this interest. My interest in history sort of went from classics up to about the Middle Ages. Disappeared at the Tudors, past World War One, and came back in at World War Two. So, wow. So I remember when I did history at school, my O levels at school. I remember the syllabus we did was British political history between 1870. Oh God, I'm falling asleep. I'm falling asleep just thinking about it. It was Gladstone. Now, if I look at it now again, if I look back at it again, that's a much older one. I can find some more interesting things in it. I mean, I don't think it covered the American Revolution, not that I remember. But I ended up, when I did my O levels, I did one of the essays I had to do. I actually answered one of the questions about World War II, about why Hitler made the mistake of invading Russia, rather than the syllabus that I'd done in lessons.
Well, it's interesting. We in my history class at school, we looked at America's entry into World War One, and before America entered, you had the Irish Americans rooting for Germany because of the penal laws that were going on and the treatment of Ireland.
Yeah.
But once America joined World War One, everybody in America joined on board. But yeah, so these are just what I have to read through right now.
Wow.
But yep. Oh, this is another one that I just got too.
How do you do it? How do you read that many?
POWs in Missouri during World War II.
Wow.
I go through a lot of books. I usually do. I'm up to about 15 this year.
I downloaded from somewhere the making of Jeremy Clarkson's video about the San Nazaire raid, the Campbelltown raid, the greatest raid. That was really the making. I was interested in the way they made the mods. But of course, I send that at the time that wasn't that well known to people who weren't World War II buffs. It was a fantastic mission. And some of the things in World War II. What my interest in World War II is one of the reasons why I was extremely nervous, and possibly also one of the reasons why I stopped watching the Jodie Whittaker Doctor Who when they did their World War II one.
I don't think I saw that one, thankfully.
Well, let's put it this way. They, given how they finished the, I apologize for the entire of my nation for the Rosa Parks episode, but the way they finished that, this particular one they ended up at the Mars and all the rest, and they go at one point they go back to World War II and they're hiding. You may have seen clips of the rest of it, and they bring in this was part of their big push women thing, and they featured a female SOE agent. Great. Problem is, she was they featured a real life person. And Jodie Whittaker is gushing over her being the first Muslim special agent.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah. And then
I never
she makes
watched
her,
it, but I remember it.
well, then she makes her forget everything. I was just so glad they didn't do the Rosa Parks because I know exactly what happened to her. I really didn't want to see Doctor Who go to Ravensbrück.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I was so intense by it because I was of an age where World War II was obviously in my parents' memory. My teachers, one of my German teacher, had lost an eye during the war, that sort of thing. So World War II is recent history for me.
Yeah.
So I'm quite interested in watching a lot of those things about it. It's one of the reasons why I liked the recent Rogue Heroes series about the formation of the SAS.
I am reading, I can't remember, Damian Lewis's series of books about World War II. The one that he did the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, I think it was.
No, Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. Yeah, he did that. He did a few other books. So
I think did Damian Lewis do Rogue Heroes, or was there's another guy who does a lot of World War II books? I can't remember which one it was. Yeah, I've read some of those. Those were some really good, really well researched books.
So
Cool.
Well, I got about 15 minutes left before I have to run. Because, like I said,
I thought we were going all night, to the morning.
Yeah, I don't know if I trust Jim. I can leave the stream going live, but
you can just pull every comic I own out. Just
yeah, we'll get you demonetized real fast, Father.
Yeah.
So stream demonetized. As long as it's only the stream.
I know I need to restart the Sunday night streams. I used to do that before in my previous assignment. I did Sunday night streams. It was a lot more free time. I do miss it. Friday is nice, but we're not able to get as big of an audience as we have tonight.
Yeah, I noticed that when I saw the stream count, thinking, okay, so there's a few people kind of names I've seen, and I've seen in other streams that I haven't seen in the Friday stream very often.
Yeah. So, but no, like I said, I mean, I started this channel because of the pandemic. It was something. I mean, basically, I was in the middle of nowhere with my last parish, and there wasn't anything to do really.
You were having a rough time.
I was, but it's been fun. I mean, it's hard to believe I've been doing this now for 5 years. Now that I'm not teaching high school, I'm hoping maybe to get back into playing with Adobe Premiere Pro, maybe working on some videos. We'll see.
Yeah.
Heck, maybe I'll be motivated to make a video someday.
Well, I have to show you how to do that. And as I was saying before we went live with Justin, I'm not able to stream this Friday because I am actually going to go away and camp for a night.
Okay.
I'm going to do a day of camping and fishing.
Yay!
Since I have the Saturday night mass this coming week, that means I get Friday night and Saturday morning off. So I'm going to go away. Get some me time.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, enjoy it. Once you quit teaching, you're going to find you're going to have a lot of also free mental time, because I always found that even when I wasn't at school, your mind was always there, and you're going to readjust to a little bit of maybe the cycle of life and rhythm.
The fun thing is, I already told the pastor, because he teaches the wood shop class here at our grade school, I'm going to take junior high shop class this fall.
Oh, you're like going to
participate or teach?
You're just going to crash the class?
I was going to say,
no, I'm going to take it because I'm going to go make myself a bookshelf.
Oh, there you go.
Plus, it'll give something the kids to remember. But no, that's the thing. I mean, I am sad to leave the classroom just because I miss the interaction with the students. That's the big thing I'm really going to miss. But the age gap between myself and the students really hit home this year. The fact that I had a kid I baptized 16 years ago when I was newly ordained,
Wow.
It's like,
that's awesome.
okay, that is really hitting home right now.
Yeah.
Jim has that a lot to do at the store. He's got people that are full-grown adults that he used to sell cards to 20 years ago when they were growing up. He talks about that a lot too. So, yeah. But that shows you the kind of impact you've had on that place. You know, you've watched them grow, and you've been in their lives all the way up.
Well, I have not watched them grow because when I was ordained, I was in the city for 4 years before I got moved to the two other schools that I taught at. Then I was away for 5 years out west. So no, I didn't really get to see them.
Okay.
But I mean, there's something fun. Like I said, I mean, there's something fun about teaching 16 years ago. Now seeing some of my former students with families of their own.
I should imagine, yeah.
So,
yeah, it's funny how you spend the first like 20 years of your life. Like, my goodness, that took forever. School took forever. Now I'm like, when did I turn 50? I'm 49, but like the next year I turned 50. I'm like, when the heck did that happen?
Yeah.
49.
you know, tomorrow's my brother's 50th.
Terry?
Yeah, he turns 50 tomorrow.
Well, he started school late because we're all 49 in the same grade.
Well, I think they held him back a year. But
whatever reasons.
I don't know. I haven't talked to my brother. It's been a while since I've talked to him.
I kind of think I'm the other way around. I think I was born. I'm one of those people that was born 45. I was
Benjamin Button.
I'm just irritated because everything hurts. I didn't play any sports. I never got in a car accident. My body's been fine. All of a sudden, like, everything hurts. I'm like, what? This isn't fair. This isn't fair.
Well, and I was never into sports or the rest of that sort of thing.
I'll tell you, one of the things I bought recently for fishing, I bought a nice walking stick. Because I found, and this is going to be bad, but found the support is nice when I'm going downhill.
It's important to be able to stop, because once you get moving, and if you make a mistake, there's no.
I hate this feeling. I hate this feeling.
Legs out like this.
Yeah.
You know, it used to be nothing to jump down 2 feet. Now I'm afraid I'm going to break my knees if I do that.
I was behind my oldest daughter when she was like 2, and she started to fall down the stairs, and I leaped over her, slid down the railing on my feet, and landed in front of her so she wouldn't like go any further down the stairs. I'm like, I'm not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
That was like Spider-Man stuff, and I was like, 24 years old. I'm like, no, that's not happening.
Well, that was A, Spider-Man, and B, daddy of 2-year-old daughter.
Yeah, my kids were crazy. I remember sitting at the kitchen table. We had one of the stairwells that went all the way down the basement, like a full flight of stairs. My daughter, little Dylan, comes walking up, and she's not even 3 yet. She's got a plastic Sterilite bin. No, she had a rug. She had a little tiny area rug. She put it at the top of the stairs. She grabs a plastic Sterilite bin. She comes back. She puts that on the rug. She walks away. She comes back. She's got a little throw pillow, and she sits that up at the back of it, straight up and down, and she walks away. And I'm like, what is going on? And then she comes back putting on her sister's bike helmet and started to get in the bin. I went, no. Thing would have broke halfway down, and she'd have been covered in cuts and bruises. I admire the ambition, though. I thought she was going to slide down the stairs in that bin. So yeah, not a lot of logic there.
Well, I'm trying to think. What is this coming week bringing? What movie? What?
Heat. It's getting warmer. A little warmer.
No, I'm trying to think. There's movies coming out this week. I just can't remember.
Mission Impossible's out, right?
Yeah.
That's in the theater.
It's an Ironheart out sometimes this week.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's coming out this month.
Yeah, but isn't that going straight to Disney Plus? That's not going to be in the theater, is it?
Oh yeah. It's a show, is it? It's not a film. It's a show. It's supposed to film.
June 24th.
I got movies up right now. Let's look at coming soon.
Superman out this month.
Ballerina, which I believe is the John Wick offshoot, featuring the really pretty girl from the second Blade Runner movie, who I like. Thank you very much. Oh, How to Train Your Dragon, which ought to be good. If you like the music.
I'm almost tempted to watch that because it's live action, so I really want to see where they get live dragons from.
You know, it's funny. Not to bring up the sore subject. My daughter grew up with that movie, and she looks like Astrid from the movie.
Wow.
And when kids grow up identifying with a character, and then they change the character actor she doesn't look too bad. She's just got dark braids. She's not like the blonde Valkyrie type girl you would expect to see. So she's a little miffed about that. But
I'll tell you, the first one looks really good. The Phoenician scheme. I don't know if you've seen the trailer for it.
Oh no.
it looks hilarious. All those
It does.
probably profile actors doing this kind of straight man comedy looks like a lot of fun. The one I'm wondering about is Disney Pixar's Elio or Elio or Ilio, whatever you pronounce that word.
Yeah.
The animated
Oh,
feature.
Dean
looks like
Kane one there.
one I would
I,
think about
I,
that.
I noticed I was looking someone up on IMDb earlier on, and I noticed they were advertising there's an upcoming version of Frankenstein with
Yeah.
the guy. One of the guys was in Star Wars. Is it Jason Isaacs? Is that his name? No.
It's a big howdy do. It's a semi-famous director. I can't remember what his name is.
Del Toro. Benicio. I think it was Benicio del Toro.
Guillermo del Toro's
Guillermo del Toro,
Frankenstein.
yeah.
I will watch any Guillermo del Toro movie just to see it because he does good stuff.
How many Jurassic World movies have there been?
I
Too
don't
many.
think we can count them on two hands.
I don't think I've ever
It's like
seen
Law and
more than
Order
the
at this
second.
point.
I know.
Okay, July 11th is Superman.
I'm looking forward to Superman. I heard they made some changes.
Mm.
I heard that it got test screening and they made some changes to it.
I hope.
Fantastic
I-
Four got some criticism too, but it was the criticism we expected. It was the Thing was barely used. Mr. Fantastic was barely used. It was mostly about the Silver Surfer and Sue Storm saving the day. The women saved the day. Nothing against women, just saying that's what happened.
I heard someone earlier one day. Someone was saying that apparently they've changed the ending. They still end up with their universe destroyed, which is why they end up in the because I gather they were the end of post credit scene from whatever the last one was, Thunderbolts. Sorry, Thunderbolts is a much better product.
Yeah, they used the scene the Russo brothers directed that shows the Fantastic Four spaceship coming into our universe in our atmosphere.
But apparently they I don't know what it was, but they did something like change some they changed the ending apparently for that from the end for that one.
So I'm just going to show this clip. I've showed it before, but then I'm going to have to wrap it up. So
Let's hit it.
It's me, Frank Jr. Love you.
Oh
Dad,
yeah,
boy, do I
yeah, I
miss
know
you.
which bit.
No. That's great. I can't wait. Is that out? No, August.
yeah,
August.
I don't
love
know.
it. Oh,
I
it's gonna be
don't know.
Liam Neeson in a Naked Gun. I'm gonna love that
We'll
movie.
see.
Anything he shows up in. We were
We'll
watching.
see.
My wife and I, real quick. We watched it was the Anchorman movies, and the second movie they had the big fight between the networks at the end, and all these actors were showing up, and I said, you know what would make this movie hilarious if Liam Neeson showed up, and 3 seconds later Liam Neeson shows up, and I'm like, this is great. I said the only way it could be better if Harrison Ford showed up, and then 5 seconds later Harrison Ford showed up.
Yeah.
I should buy lottery tickets right now.
Yeah,
I must admit, I'm in two minds about that. I'm afraid of the bit where you said he comes in and apparently he somehow managed to compress himself down to some little old lady, what it was, and then he just gradually goes up in a massive, great Liam Neeson.
That's the ridiculousness of Naked Gun. It was just
Yeah.
Okay, I'm only going to show 10 or
You
12
shouldn't be
seconds
showing
of
this
this.
at all.
There's no swearing in this part.
Oh, this is the Liam Neeson part. Yeah.
Oh,
Hello.
I'd like to ask a few questions about this breakfast cereal.
Yeah, box of tricks.
That's right. I've been led to understand that tricks are exclusively for children. Is that correct?
Well, I mean, they say.
Anyway, but did you see the ending of it?
Yeah.
No, what happens at the end of it?
No, he just buys the cereal, right? I haven't seen.
No, there's something else that happens.
I have not seen a cutscene with this. No, this would be new.
Okay, well then.
Okay. What in God?
I. Oh,
Leah, what
Okay.
happened? Apparently, they were not for kids.
Yeah. So with that, I got to wrap up. Anything to plug, anybody?
Just congratulations again on getting monetized, Father.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
I hope to ride your
Archer?
coattails for a very long time on it.
Hey, happy to have you guys.
I've got to catch up on at least one of Miss Martin's videos, if not 2 or 3 of them, because I noticed she's got a couple that I missed
thank
so
you.
far.
Yeah.
Miss Martin?
Well, I've got my shows, my daily musings that I've been doing when I can, of course, and my Friday shorts and the like. I'm going to continue also sharing about my Alaska trip for Teresa Travels Tuesdays. And I have a new channel, a separate channel for my Catholic stuff. It's Catholic Explaining based on the series that I've had. So if y'all wouldn't mind subscribing, and so that's going to see all the Catholic material from here on out.
Check that one out.
Sounds
So
good.
I quite enjoyed. I've not seen all of them, but I have watched a lot of those ones. They're quite interesting as an outsider to actually sort of explain some of the I want to use the word law as in LORE, but I hope you know me well enough to know that I'm meaning that in a respectful manner, that I'm not dismissing it.
No. I completely understand. Yeah. Well, that's why it's Catholic study, because I'm not there to argue. I'm here to just tell you what it is, and I enjoy it. So, and I have my first video, and I've got some shorts on there on the new channel, so you can see it's got a rose with a crucifix on it. So that's how you know it's
Well, and one of the things I'm hoping to do a little bit more, I might try starting to do some Catholic history videos.
Ooh, yes.
So we'll see.
That would be awesome.
We'll see.
That'd be interesting.
Okay, well, thank you guys for joining me. Thank you everybody for watching. We'll do it again. Like I said, I'm going to try to get back into the Sunday night streams too. So if you guys are free, you're more than welcome to join. So until next time, we'll be seeing you.
Yep,
and
not
we're gonna hit
Friday,
the button.
unfortunately, but